Hi, and welcome to the Zilog and Moto End of the Year Roundup for 2019 and Season 1 of Zilog and Moto. For years and years, going back to college, I had the idea of having some sort of website or blog where I reviewed things. In the beginning, it was an album reviews site on a chopped together notepad-based HTML page at the University of South Carolina Computer Lab. We were given an email address and a whopping 5 megabytes of space to be used for web design. This then later morphed into a Microsoft front page design site that I think was hosted by GoDaddy or someone, and I even bought a domain for it for a year. And that was the site where I started to focus on games exclusively, but not Sega. Instead, I for some reason decided it'd be a good idea to try and tackle the games that were in my main library. Unsurprisingly, this got derailed by other things in my life at the time, and I abandoned it. My third attempt at creating something was on Blogger, because I simply did not have the time to try to design a website and all the things that went along with that. So I figured, let someone else do the hard work for me, and I'll just create the content. That was fine for a while, but after doing that for about a year and watching other creators, I realized how absolutely shitty my stuff was. I think that was the key, seeing other people like Phantasy Punk and Metal Jesus Rocks really put effort into putting out a polished product that they can stand behind. It really crystallized things for me. If I was actually going to put time into creating videos or writing, there needed to be an end result that I could look back on, and while it's maybe not the greatest thing in the world, it was at least something where I knew that I'd spent time on and it was worthwhile. And while that blog on Blogger was close to what I wanted to do, showcasing game reviews and in-game footage, it still wasn't quite there. I needed to really focus on something and have a vision of something to try to accomplish. And at the same time, I've been collecting 8 16-bit Sega titles, rediscovering titles from my youth and discovering lots of new titles, especially on the Master System that I'd never seen before, much less played. And it dawned on me that since this was something I was passionate about, it should be my focus. And then, with the upload of my channel introduction video and then subsequent review of pro wrestling for the Master System, Zilog and Moto was off and running. I now had a list of approximately 1,250 English language Sega Master System, Genesis, Sega CD, and 32X games that I needed to collect and review. It was time to start getting cranking on those videos. However, getting that first video upload wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I quickly learned that the RGB to HDMI converter that I was using to display and record video was stretching all the images out from a 4:3 view to a 16:9, and there was no way to fix that with the equipment that I had. And uploading distorted video of the games defeated the point of what I was trying to do, so it was time to invest in a FrameMeister. And I do mean invest because those things are not cheap. Then there was the need for a decent microphone for voiceovers, a video camera I could move around, and oh yeah, proper video editing software to put everything together. It was a lot, but to do what I wanted to do correctly and have something I could look back on and be proud of, it was all necessary. In the 317 days since that first upload, Zilog and Moto has seen 47 reviews on 50 games on titles that come from all 3 of the major regions and on the Master System, Genesis, and Sega CD. I even did a video on the Sega Genesis Mini featuring Darius and Tetris, which has since become the most viewed video on the channel by far, which is not surprising considering how much hype there was around that this year, and that some of my other choices have been pretty obscure titles. Over the course of the year, Zilog and Moto has served up almost 450 views and a total of almost 20 hours to viewers. I know, pretty small potatoes in comparison to other channels. Hell, Pat's latest video for Days Before Christmas is already at 35,000 views, and it's only been out a week. But to me, it's each and every one of those views and subscribers means a lot. My goal for 2020 is double all those base statistics. I'd like to hit 1,000 views, 50 hours, and 30 subscribers. And if not, it doesn't matter because I'm just going to keep plugging away anyway, working on these videos every week. But it's good to have goals. Okay, enough about me and this channel. Let's take a look back on the games we've looked at this year with 2 lists. We'll start with the 10 worst games of this season, and then move in a more positive direction, the 10 best games of this season, and then hand out some individual awards as well. For the 10 worst games of Season 1, we start out with a game we just looked at, Home Alone at number 10. Then it's time to call Gambling Anonymous instead of playing Caesar's Palace at number 9. At number 8, it can only be Hardball. At number 7, proving that not all games age well, Championship Pro-Am. At number 6, there's nothing great about it. Great Soccer. At number 5, I'd rather actually fish, and I hate fishing, TNN Bass Tournament of Champions. At number 4, Hard Driving, which I like to call Shitty Polygon Apocalypse for short. At number 3, the not very risky board game port Risk. At number 2, I'd be fine if he stayed lost next time, The Great Waldo Search. And finally, at number 1, the worst game Zilog and Moto played this year, and the only game so far to garner a bomb rating, American Gladiators. Ugh. I need a palate cleanser after all that. Maybe I should shoot a few more takes. Oh, sorry. Now, for the 10 best games we took a look at in Season 1. At number 10, Dragon's Lair, a game that's certainly not perfect, but still managed to be fun. Number 9, Joe Montana Football. I was prepared for this one to suck, but thankfully it was entertaining. Number 8, Quartet. Jetpacks are cool. Number 7, Super Off-Road. Just an all-time classic, and this port is no exception. Number 6, the game we just looked at in Choplifter. Number 5, Sewer Shark. I don't think I've ever had more fun blasting giant mutated rats. Number 4, another classic, NHL Hockey. Number 3, easily the most impressive technical accomplishment of the year in Darius. Number 2, Phantasy Star. Great story and balanced gameplay. And finally, number 1, Road Rash, featuring one of Rob Hubbard's best soundtracks. Along with those top 10 lists, also came up with some awards to hand out, because I didn't want this video to only be top 10 lists, even though I know YouTube is all about those. So first we got the biggest disappointment of Season 1, which goes to Championship Pro-Am. If you're not aware, Championship Pro-Am is a slightly upgraded version of RC Pro-Am, a hugely popular NES title. And while the NES game may be great, the Genesis version's a dud, featuring bad controls, difficult opponents, and only marginally improved graphics. Now, the biggest surprise of Season 1, which goes to Shaq Fu. People love to shit on this game. Love to. It goes for very cheap on the resale market, and I think I paid $4 for mine complete. And I'll admit, it's a pretty silly concept. However, once you get used to the floaty controls, there's definitely some fun that can be had with it, and the animation in the game is second to none. Finally, I'm going to award my favorite game of the year on each console. One caveat here, favorite game of the year doesn't necessarily mean the game that I thought was the best game of the year. It's simply the game I had the most fun with when playing and working on the review. For the Master System, that goes to Phantasy Star. Playing the original Phantasy Star is something I'd wanted to do for a long time. JRPGs aren't my favorite category of games anymore, but I still enjoy them. And this was one of the first that really put the genre on the map. And it's far better than any of the first 3 Final Fantasy games on the NES. I've beaten all 3 of those, so I can say that without question. For the Genesis, well, it shouldn't be much of a surprise, but I'm giving favorite game of the year to Road Rash. The series actually improves from here, but this is a game where they got it right the first time, and it's still fun to pick up and play even in 2020. For the Sega CD, again, this one probably isn't too much of a surprise, but I'm giving favorite game of the year to Sewer Shark. But I do also want to give an honorable mention here to Ground Zero Texas. The first half of Ground Zero Texas is better than Sewer Shark, and it's only when you get into that second disc things start to fall apart. Had the difficulty been slightly lower on that second disc, and had been slightly less repetitive, this award may well have gone to Ground Zero Texas instead. And finally, my favorite 32X game of the year... Oh, wait. I'd planned on doing a 32X game for the 50th episode, but I ran out of time. Oops. Well, instead I'm going to give an award for favorite import or new game of the year, and this game can be for any of the platforms I review, but it has to be either a game that wasn't originally released in the United States, or that was released after 1998. And for that, I'm giving the award to Darius. Darius is an amazing technical achievement that really shows what the aging hardware in the Genesis can do. It's a little difficult for me, and due to time restraints, I'll probably never be able to practice it enough to beat it without save states, so you can see what side of the internet argument I'm on as far as that goes. But it's a fantastic shooter and a game nonetheless. And there you have it, the Zilog and Moto Season 1 2019 Retrospective. Thanks to everyone who's watched, commented, liked, and subscribed to this channel this year. I hope that Season 2 and the year 2020 is even better for everyone. And who knows, maybe I can finally replace this GoPro with a real video camera. Remember, whatever you play, have fun, and be excellent to each other. See you next year.